Hey friends, stay tuned as I review my puzzles that I completed in 2025. It is a recap of the year. Hi friends, welcome to the channel. My name is Ricky. I hope you're having a great day and thank you so much for spending some time with me. Well, as the year comes to a close, I thought for a video, I thought it would be a good idea to actually show you a recap of all the puzzles I've built on this channel. So for those who do not know, I started my channel in July 2025 and I've been trying to consistently do at least one or two puzzles a week, usually averaging about a puzzle a week on the channel. And I thought I would like to actually show you or do a recap for you of those puzzles that I've done and give you my thoughts on those puzzles in hindsight and show you which were my favorites and which were my least favorites. But there's also one puzzle, and I want you to stick to it at the end, that actually defeated me. It was a Springbok puzzle that I had so much hopes of building, but I started working on it and it took me so many hours of working on this puzzle that I just could not meet the deadline to get it out, and I put the puzzle back in the box. So stay tuned, I'll be revealing that at the end of this video. But also I'm going to show you I pulled one book, and it is my favorite book that I've read of the year, and it's probably is my favorite book of all time. So I do hope you enjoy this puzzles haul or a video that I'm going to show you of all the puzzles that I've done as a recap. And definitely let me know in the comments which were your favorite, which ones you liked, which one you may have bought or purchased or searching for, because I would love to hear from you guys in the comments and let me know what you thought of these puzzles. So the very first puzzle I pulled, and the very first puzzle I did on the channel, and I'm going to try to keep these in the order that I did on the channel. The very first one is called, if I can find it on here, Blue Moon. And this was the very first video, or very first puzzle I did for my channel. Look how beautiful this is. I had a great time on this puzzle. It was so colorful. The artwork was so beautiful. I extremely enjoyed this puzzle. Now I have to admit, for me being new to YouTube and video editing and putting together a time lapse, it was very challenging because I went into it completely green. I thought, well, I got to do a time lapse for this puzzle. It's 1,000 piece. It's going to be a challenge. The image is not going to be the easiest image. But after I did the video, I realized it's probably way too long than it should have been. But for a first video, I'm sort of happy and pleased with it. But definitely let me know what you think of this image in this puzzle. Again, this was the very first one I did, and it's called Blue Moon. The next video I did, or the next puzzle I did, was Santa Fe Trail, and this was part of a puzzle haul. I showed a haul of the puzzles I'd recently gotten. This is one of those, and it's called Santa Fe Trail, 500 pieces, and I love this image. So fun and so enjoyable. Absolutely had a great time on this puzzle, and I remember thinking it was much prettier coming together than I could have hoped for. Absolutely loved it. The next puzzle I put together was somewhat of a nightmare. I'm going to be honest with you, and it's because how I handled this puzzle. I actually chose to speed run this puzzle. It's probably the first and only time you will see me speed run on this channel. Now maybe in a few months or maybe a few years from now, I'll get up the courage to actually do that. But I thought, oh, this would be awesome to try to speed run a Springbok puzzle. It was not. And that puzzle is called Twist of Color, and it's a bunch of crayons in a jar looking down from the top view down onto it. I love the puzzle image. It's so pretty, and I thought initially that this would be such an easy build with the very distinct colors, but it was not an easy build. And as a matter of fact, the video was so terrible because it took me so long to put this together. I just actually deleted and removed the video off my channel because it was just so embarrassingly bad. And one of the problems I had with building this puzzle as a speed puzzle was in the fact that I had to, my camera could only hold a certain amount of time on it before it would stop. So I would be puzzling, and then I'd look and see that the camera had actually stopped. And so what I had to do was shoot the video as a speed running video in 30-minute segments. 30 minutes, stop, download the video onto the computer, come back, start the video timer up, start it again, stop. It was just a nightmare of editing, time delay, and it was extremely challenging to do as a speed puzzle, even though I thought this image would have been perfect. Now overall, I love this image, this puzzle image. I thought it's beautiful, and I'm sure if I had puzzled this in the leisure, I would have had a great time on it. The next puzzle I did, I absolutely love this puzzle. It was so pretty and so beautiful, and it's called Key West Inspiration, 500 pieces. Now, if you want, you can go back and check in my on my channel. You can go back to the actual videos that have these puzzles listed out and watch me build these, because I do have a time lapse for each one of these. But this 500 piece puzzle was just so beautiful, and I absolutely loved it. I love the colors of it. I love the image. True delightful puzzle to build. The next puzzle I put together was a fun build also. It's called Front Porch, 500 pieces. Just such a simple image of a front porch, country porch. Love the colors, love the puzzle fit, the piece fit, and I really enjoyed that this was a 500 piece puzzle. Had extremely good time on this puzzle. Now the next puzzle I put together is called, it's a vintage Springbok from 1965, and it's actually Springbok editions, and was created specifically for Springbok puzzles by the artist Salvador Dali. And the puzzle is called, or the image is called, Double Image, Apparition of the Invisible Bust of Voltaire. And what you're supposed to see is two images on this. You can actually see the bust of Voltaire, but you can also see what I consider a group of people here in an archway. And it's just got a lot of weird, odd images on this puzzle. It was a very, very delightful puzzle to put together, mainly because it was so old. It's so vintage. It was really thrilling to put together. And it was really interesting because when I put the puzzle together, the pieces seemed to glide into place. They just seemed to glide into place, fit into place so perfectly. But yet the puzzle was also sort of on the crumbly side. But I had an extremely delightful time on this puzzle. Now I am sort of surprised because I thought of all the videos that I've created so far, I thought this puzzle image would have created the most views. But I think it's probably one of my lowest viewed puzzle builds so far on the channel. But nevertheless, I had a delightful time with this. The next puzzle I built was in the summertime. It's called State Fair. And it coincided with our state fair. So in that video, I actually put together this puzzle and do a time lapse with it. But I'll also visit my local state fair, and you can see footage of that in this actual video of this puzzle. Great, easy build, fun build, so colorful, delightful, and perfect for the summertime. Had a great time on it. The next puzzle I built is a Springbok vintage puzzle. I believe this was from the 80s or maybe the late 70s. It's called the E.B. Throckbottom Memorial Gumball Machine. Now that's a mouthful, but basically it's a puzzle image of a vintage gumball machine. It was a challenging puzzle to put together because all these color pieces all blended together, all this black, there was so much black pieces. But it was one of those puzzles that was challenging in a good way. I felt so good once I got this puzzle accomplished and built. Had a wonderful time on this puzzle. Again, for a vintage puzzle, I thought this would have generated more views on my channel than it did. And I was surprised to see that this is probably one of my lowest rated videos also, or lowest watched videos. Now the next two puzzles I did on as in one video, and this is the puzzle, they're by Springbok, but this is their majestic line of puzzles. The first one is called Cat's Treehouse. I had a great time on this, and This was an absolutely fun puzzle. This is actually part of Springbok's budget line, the Majestic line of puzzles. And the piece cut is totally different from the traditional Springbok puzzles. And they come into the smaller boxes. And these type of puzzles you will usually see in retail stores such as Walmart or various discount stores. You'll see the Majestic line of puzzles by Springbok. Had a great time on this image. It was so much fun and so beautiful. Highly recommend this one. The next puzzle in that same video that I did by the Majestic line was called Home Sweet Home. And look at this image. Isn't that sweet? A camping image with your dog out there with you. Love the colors of this puzzle. Such a fun, easy build. Extremely enjoyed this puzzle. One of my favorite images of the year is called Cat Cafe. It's 500 pieces. And look at this. All these beautiful kitty cats running amok in the coffee shop. Had a great time on this. This was such a fun build. Absolutely loved it. Loved it. All right, the next puzzle I actually put together on the channel was this beautiful puzzle called Four Seasons of the Cat. And I love this puzzle because each panel represents a season. And this puzzle, even though it's 1,000 piece and looks somewhat busy, was so easy to build. Because with each distinct panel or season, it really was basically 4 puzzles built or combined into one. And I absolutely enjoyed this puzzle. This was really a fun build. Absolutely loved it. Loved the kitty cats, the image, the artwork, the colors. It was such a joy to build. Loved it. The next puzzle I built on the channel was this beautiful image of this bewitching cat. It's entitled Enchanted Cat. And look at the colors of this puzzle. 1,000 pieces. So pretty. And this was starting to go into the Halloween season. And I absolutely enjoyed this. Now this puzzle was challenging. It was on the difficult side. I had pictures, because it was so dark, obviously. But once it came together, it was just so stunningly beautiful. And again, if you want to see me build this on the channel, go back and look at my past videos and you'll be able to see this. And this one is called Enchanted Cat. And going on into Halloween, I pulled this puzzle and I had such a good time on this puzzle. It was so fun. It's called Haunted Halloween Party. Again, one of those fun, easy builds, so colorful, so joyful for the season. Maybe not joyful, maybe horrific for the season since it's Halloween. But it was such a special, fun puzzle to build. I love that imagery, that spooky imagery. The ghosts flying in the air, the witches flying past the moon, the pumpkins and goblins, and even the old haunted house. Fun build. The next puzzle I did was this sweet puzzle called Spellbound Night, 500 pieces. Kitty cat on top of a jack-o'-lantern. Absolutely loved it. Loved this puzzle. Fun build. It was sort of difficult, I have to admit, especially with the flowers and the plant and the pumpkin. It was sort of challenging, but I had a good time on it. Now, one of my favorite, if not my favorite, puzzle image of this year was this 500-piece Springbok. I believe it's called, Cheetah and Ginger Jar. Now, I love the colors orange and pink together. I love that color scheme. I think it's so beautiful. And this puzzle, even though it looks difficult, it was such an easy build. So much more easier than I thought. It was just so stunningly beautiful. It was one of those puzzles where I just did not want to stop. And I loved it that much. And if you see a copy out there on the website, on Springbok website, I would urge you to grab it. Because it was a special puzzle. And this was going to be in my forever collection. The next puzzle I did for the channel was called Balloon Cellar, and I love this image. Just absolutely love this image. So fun, so colorful. I love this type of artwork. Just absolutely loved it. So pretty. Easy build. Easy build. Another favorite, and I guess I'm starting to say this on all of these puzzles that they're all my favorites, but I really enjoyed this one. It's called Stylish Spaces, and I love this retro mod type look. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? And really what it is it's 4 living spaces, or really 4 different little puzzles combined into one. It has its distinct sections, so colorful, and when it comes together at the end, you think, wow, it was so pretty. Again, another easy build because of the distinct sections this puzzle had. Now this next puzzle is a vintage puzzle, and it is not a Springbok puzzle. It is from one of my favorite puzzle companies that no longer exists, called Eaton Puzzles, and this one is called Puzzle Plus. Now I'm not sure if it goes this way, or even maybe this way. But I had a great time on this puzzle. So fun, so nostalgic. And I believe this puzzle, copyright here says, I believe 1982. So it's well into the vintage years. It was so different, so fun, and so enjoyable. And, you know, Eaton was a rival to Springbok in the 70s and 80s. And they did leave a lasting impression, and I do plan to put together more Eaton puzzles on my channel, so stay tuned. But again, if you want to see me build this vintage Eaton puzzle, go back and look on my channel history and you'll be able to find the video. And again, I was surprised because I thought this would generate more views than it did. So hopefully some folks will give it another look and take a look at it. It was a fun build. Now the next puzzles I did was going into the holiday season. It's the more recent to us, and this one was one of the limited edition puzzles released by Springbok. It's called Sugar Plum Fairies, 500 piece. I love this image. It was so fun. And that Christmas tree was a pain. It was a challenge, but when it came together, it was just so beautiful. And this puzzle comes in a special sleeve over it, not a traditional Springbok box. The box is more sturdy. It is limited edition, as I said, which means that they were only going to produce a certain number of those, and they did 1,000 of these, and once they run out of that 1,000, they will not produce this puzzle again. So if it's still available, I would urge you to go out on Springbok's website and grab it, because you will not be disappointed. Now the full image of the puzzle is on the back, and I had a great time on it. The next puzzle I did for the holiday season was Festive Christmas Village, and this puzzle was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous when I completed it. 500 pieces, that Christmas tree, that village, that moonlight sky, it was just so fun, so enjoyable, and so beautiful. Loved this puzzle, loved it. The next puzzle I've helped on the channel put together is called Feathered Friends. Look at that snowman with his feathered friends out there to keep him company. So joyous and beautiful. Again, when I put this together, it actually was easier than I thought it would be. And I do have this in a 1,000-piece version, but for time's sake I wanted to do the 500-piece version. And I love the image once it came together. So pretty. The next puzzle was the other limited edition puzzle released by Springbok. This is 1,000 pieces. It's called Colorful Christmas Forest. And boy, was it colorful. It was so beautiful. Absolutely loved this puzzle once it was complete. Now, it was a little bit more challenging than I thought it would be, especially in this top part with all the different stars and different backgrounds. After a while, it seemed all to blend together. But once it came together, man, it was just spectacular, absolutely spectacular. The colors are so beautiful. Again, only 1,000 of these were produced, and I believe, well, I do think I checked last time, this puzzle sold out. So if you can get this in the secondary market, I would urge you to, because you will not regret it. And the last puzzle I put together on the channel for this year, 2025, is this 400-piece family puzzle called Into All a Good Night. This was such a fun puzzle. Now this puzzle is made specifically for families, for little hands, big hands, older hands. So the family can all join together and put together this puzzle. Now the outer ring of the puzzle actually consists of larger size pieces like on here, but I think some of the pieces are larger than that. And it's easier for the younger kids to put the outer edges together and maybe the adults to focus on the center part of the puzzle. Absolutely love this puzzle. It was such an easy build and such a fun build. Extremely, extremely enjoyable. And with that said, that was all the puzzles I put together on the channel. And stay tuned, come back. When I come back, I'm going to reveal to you the puzzle that defeated me, and I'm going to reveal to you the top 5 puzzles that I enjoyed of the year. And I'm also going to show you my favorite book of the year. I only pulled one book, but it was my favorite book of the year, maybe of all time. I love this book so much. Anyway, stay tuned. All right, I couldn't pull just 5 puzzles. I had such a tough time deciding what the ranking from 7 on up as my favorite puzzle. So starting out at number 7 is the Salvador Dali puzzle. Love the vintage era of it, but number 7 on that one. The next one was Blue Moon at the number 6 spot, followed by Seasons of the Cat at number 5, at number 4 is Festive Christmas Village. Love this image, so fun. At number 3 is Stylish Spaces. Number 2, Colorful Christmas Forest. So beautiful and so fun. And the limited edition aspect of this puzzle is what pushed it up there. Had a wonderful time on this. And the favorite puzzle I did all year long, or even on the channel, was Cheetah and Ginger Jar. I can't tell you how beautiful this puzzle came to be when I finished it, and how enjoyable and how fun it was, and how I was so easily able to put it together. Overall, it was the best puzzling experience of the year for me, and I absolutely highly recommend this puzzle. Now, with that said, my least favorite puzzle of the year was this one called Twist of Color. Nothing against the image, but trying to speed run this defeated me. Absolutely spoiled the puzzling fun. It went against everything that I believe in when I puzzle. Now, I'm sure you guys want to know for sure which puzzle defeated me. Which puzzle had me completely just shut it down, stop the video, log the video in a folder, and put it back in the box. And that was, and I was so disappointed because I wanted to get it done, Quilting Santa. I love this puzzle image. I had a good time the first few hours when I was building it. I was able to complete 1/3 of the puzzle, which is the quilting area, but then the puzzling experience turned south, and literally after by hour 10, 11, I was in this red, white, fur, beard mess, and I just could not get out of it. And the reason it was not completed was because I was trying to get this done by Christmas Day. And by December 22nd or 23rd, I knew I was in trouble when I only had 1/3 of the puzzle done. So I just threw my hands up and said, okay, it's got to go in the box. Maybe I'll do this in July, as a Christmas in July, and complete it, because I still had the footage of what I filmed. Because the puzzle image is delightful. It is so sweet and special, but it defeated me on my time constraints. And that is why at the last minute I pulled the 400-piece family puzzle and got it done in substitute for this, because I had to get a puzzle done before Christmas Day, because obviously I'm not sure how many people want to see a Santa Claus puzzle after after Christmas. I maybe posted on the 27th or 28th. And at the rate I was going, that's how long it was going to take me to get it done. So I made a decision to toss it in the box and maybe save it for, I think I'm going to do this in July. Because like I said, I did film quite a bit of the time lapse for it, and I hate to waste that. And so what I did when I put it back in the box, I didn't just all crumble up the pieces. I put it back. I put the pieces, the sections of the puzzle in layers in the box, so I can easily put them out and reassemble that section and then start the time lapse over again and complete it. But yeah, Santa Claus defeated me. All that red suit and all that white, the white beard, the white cap around his cap, and it was just too much for me to get done in time. But overall, it was okay until the hours started to drag by. Now, with that said, I did pull one book that is my favorite book of all year. And I didn't exhibit this book on the channel before because I read it before the channel started. And like I said, I started this channel in July of 2025. And so I read this book, I think it was like about a year ago, probably in January, February. And this book is probably one of my favorite books of all time. If you are wanting a book that is so thrilling and so exciting and so immersive with your characters, this is it. It's Della Owens' Where the Crawdads Sing. If you have not read this book, you like a mystery, you like a book that engrosses you, the characters just seem to come alive, you have so much empathy and love and joy for this character, this is the book for you. Now on my channel, I do not reveal any spoilers. I do not give those away. But this is a simple read, an easy read, and but it deals with issues in this book that it touches your heart. And long after you close the last page, you're thinking of this book. Every now and then I will turn and think of this book. Now I do know that they turned this into a motion picture, and I believe this book has been out about 10 to 15 years. And I knew there was quite a bit of a buzz about it, but I didn't get to this book until last January of this year. And after I read it, it was one of those books I kept flipping back for it to read parts over it again, read again. And this book I definitely will be reading again, maybe in a few years from now. I haven't had the opportunity to see the movie, but I feel like if I see the movie, because I have the characters in my mind, how I pictured them in alignment with the book, I don't want to really spoil that. But if you have not read this book and you want a book that will touch your heart, this will do it. Now you may need some Kleenex with it, or tissues, but again, I highly recommend this book, and I think this is not only my favorite book of the year, but maybe my favorite book of all time. I just love this book. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed these puzzle recap of what I've done for 2025. Definitely, if you're interested and you haven't seen the videos on none of these puzzles, go back and watch them. You will love them. I hope you would love them. I think you will enjoy them. Maybe not love them, but I hope you can enjoy them. Now, when I make my videos, I make it for more of a relaxing type video. You know, I'm not the fastest puzzle builder. I'm not the most articulate. I stumble over my words. I tend to ramble on. I tend to repeat myself. I'm working on that. But it is difficult talking to a camera and trying to keep the conversation going when it's one-sided. And I hope you do or can overlook that aspect of the video or the channel. But if you get a chance, go back and look at these videos of these puzzles that I built, the time lapse for them, because I think you will enjoy those. And definitely leave me a comment. Let me know which one of these puzzles that I did this year was your favorite, which one you will have to try to go get and buy. And now going in 2026, I plan to stick to my Springbok puzzles, but I will also be branching out into puzzle brands that no longer exist, like Eaton Puzzles, FX Schmidt. I love FX Schmidt. It no longer exists, so I'm going to try to accumulate some of those puzzles and build them on the channel. And who knows, maybe I'll build a Gallinson or two, or maybe something that really sparks my fancy, like a Ravensburger. But I really, you know, as my favorite puzzle company, Springbok, I try to stick to those because I just love it. I love it so much. And again, I appreciate every one of you who have subscribed, left me comments. It's been a fun experience building the channel and building these puzzles and sharing my puzzles with you. And I'm thinking about also maybe in the coming year, maybe taking you on some non-puzzling adventures or videos, maybe non-book videos, maybe on a thrifting video where I go into a discount store or a thrifting mall, and I show you some of my thrifted items that I actually find that are special to me. Anyway, let me know what you think of that. If you would like me to branch out and do other videos, maybe I'll go more out in nature, just something different to keep the channel fresh. But anyway, I know I'm starting to ramble, but definitely leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought of these puzzles. Let me know if you've read this book or if you plan to read it. A very good book. I highly recommend it and love it. And with that said, I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video recapping all the puzzles I did this year. And to everybody who subscribed out there and left me comments, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'm so grateful for you. And with that said, I wish you the best. I wish you love, joy, and happiness for the new year. Many blessings for the new year. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.